Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or welcome here if it's your first time. In today's video, I'm reviewing the BGVP DMA. This is a very interesting new IM with an interesting driver configuration. Let's get it. What's cracking, audio fans? It's David here from Prime Audio Reviews. So the BGVP DMA, now that driver configuration, we've got one dynamic driver for the bass, we've got two balanced armature drivers, and we've got two bone conduction drivers. Now these bone conduction drivers are a bit different from the ones I've seen before. This is a Sonyin, I think it's a dual Sonyin unit. And it's actually, the bone conduction driver actually does the mid-range, which is interesting. But anyway, that's the box. By the way, the price is $299. So that puts it right on par in terms of price with the Moondrop Blessing 3. We'll compare with that later. But yes, that is the box. Inside you get a pretty good bundle of accessories, starting off with this lovely carrying case here, pretty nice. And you get two plugs because it's a modular cable. I'll show you that in a second as well. I just want to also show you these ear tips because it's a pretty nice selection. Any IM worth its salt should come with, you know, a variety of ear tips like this, especially anything over $100 in my opinion. So you got 3 pairs of vocal ear tips, 4 pairs of bass ear tips because there's already one on the IEM, and 1 pair of foam tips. But let's bring those IEMs in. We'll bring out our little platform as well, and here they are. Boom, look at that. So the face plates, they look a little bit generic. There's nothing that screams $300 about the face plates, but the quality is good. Nice anodized aluminium, and I like the attention to detail. Notice the red grill for the right one and the blue grill for the left. That's nice. That's a nice touch. For some reason, BGVP are still sticking with those MMCX connectors. You either love them or hate them. Personally, I prefer 2 pins. Let me know down in the comments below what your preferred connectors are. But anyway, yeah, so aluminium faceplates have got these beautiful clear resin shells, 3D printed shells. I believe these were printed by Haygear's Technology, which you may have heard of before. And yeah, they're beautiful, very, very nice. So I think on this side, that looks like a $300 IEM. But if you're like me, you're not so concerned about the appearance and you're more concerned with the audio quality. We will get to that momentarily, but I just want to show you this cable. It's a very nice cable. It's a mixture of OCC and silver plated copper. There's those MMCX connectors. All the components are metal. Lovely, really nice cable. And it is modular. So boom, just like that. It comes with the 4.4mm balance termination and a 3.5mm single-ended. So that is an excellent touch. Overall, a really good cable. Alright, it's time to get into the sound. Now, before I throw up the graph, I just want to mention that these have got 2 bone conduction drivers or bone conducting drivers inside. Now, I don't know if the sound they make, the effect they have, shows up on the graph or not. And the only way I would know for sure is would be by smashing them open and, you know, trying them individually with and without those drivers. So I'm not going to do that. But I just wanted to make it clear that what you see on the graph might not necessarily reflect accurately the sound that you hear with these. Take that as you will. But anyway, onto the sound. Graph. There it is. We've got a slight V shape on the graph. By the way, these are efficient IEMs. They are easy to drive, so you don't need a very powerful source. You can actually plug these straight into a mobile phone, no worries. And the DMA distinguishes itself with a warm and natural kind of tuning. It diverges from a lot of the Harman stuff we've seen by dialing back the emphasis on the upper mid-range a little bit, and instead its clarity emerges from a dual lift in both the lower and the upper treble. Simultaneously, it enriches the bass and the lower mid-range. Now, this approach results in a sound profile that retains an overall warmth or an underlying warmth despite its ample treble energy, so it's got this balanced yet vibrant sound signature. Let's talk about the bass now, and I've got to say, these deliver. I love the bass on these. It is possibly my favorite part, but I like the sound overall. That's a bit of a giveaway. It's a spoiler already, but the bass quality here is fantastic. It really emphasizes both the mid bass and the sub bass. It's not a massive, huge kind of low end like bass head certified, but actually I think most bass heads would probably be satisfied with these, having said that, because yeah man, this bass is so good. I mean, not only is it a big bass quantity wise, but it is a good bass quality wise. It's very textured, it's got nice clean leading edges, there's a nice slam to it, it thumps as well. It does carry over some of that warmth into the lower mid-range, of course, but I don't find it destructive at all. Because the mid-range, which I'll get to, well, let's segue to it right now. The mid-range is very clean, very clear. It's got this nice expansive quality to it. Instruments and vocals benefit from that bass carryover. They acquire some robustness, but without undermining that inherent clarity and articulation. And the spaciousness in the mid-range contributes to above average instrument separation. Well, they're intertwined or interchangeable. You could say that either way. You could reverse that sentence and it would still be true. So you get a nice instrument separation, open soundstage. Vocals exhibit a nice nuanced and emotive quality. They're full-bodied and fairly rich while maintaining a natural, uncolored or neutral resonance. Moving to the treble, and the DMA showcases crispness and intricate detailing. Its presentation avoids harshness or brittleness, mostly for a non-fatiguing presentation. However, I will say, owing to that primarily that 5 kHz peak, these are not the most forgiving on poorly recorded or poorly mastered tracks. And despite this, I think the treble remains intricate and detailed. It's got very nice extension. It provides a clear and vibrant top end without compromising the overall tonal balance. And look, if the recording or track that you're listening to has inherent sibilance, these won't mask it at all. But I find that the treble is just sort of on that borderline between exciting and edgy. So I can listen to these all day without a problem at all. And I hate sibilance, trust me on that. But these ones, they're just sort of, they go near, but they never quite cross that border. And that's another part of these, along with the bass and the clarity of the mid-range, that makes these such an exciting listen. Now, in terms of soundstage and technicalities, the soundstage is broader or wider than most. It actually stretches beyond my headspace, like out past the perceived position of my ears. And the stage depth forward is impressive too. So you've got this pretty expansive soundstage, but the IEMs do not compromise on note density, so that instrument separation I mentioned before is very good, and imaging is also very good as well. So you get pretty precise imaging within the stage, pretty good positional cues, so it's good for gaming and as well as music. And honestly, in terms of technicalities or technical performance, these IEMs perform really well for something at this price. Okay, so comparison time, and as promised, I'm going to bring in the Moondrop Blessing 3. There it is. And you might see some similarities on the underside, and I would not be surprised if both of these were manufactured at the Hay Gears Technology facility, for lack of a better word. But anyway, let's get into it. So, same price. The Blessing 3 has got 2 dynamic drivers and 4 balanced armatures, whereas the DMA is a tribrid. It's got that 1 dynamic, 2 balanced armatures, and 2 bone conduction drivers. Moondrop 3, or the Blessing 3 I should say, is harder to drive. It does require a beefier source to perform optimally. Now, the Blessing 3's bass does not hit as hard as the DMA, and that's both in the sub bass and the mid bass frequencies. So DMA has got more bass impact overall and more bass authority. And moreover, the Blessing 3's bass is a little bit softer as well, like the leading edges are softer. The DMA bass is more detailed and more layered. Now, the Blessing 3's vocal placement is more forward, whereas DMA leans closer towards that traditional V shape. But I definitely would not call the DMA's mid-range recessed, not in any way. In terms of resolution and instrument separation, pretty close, but the B3 is just slightly behind. Now, the Blessing 3's treble is more laid back, and that results in less detail retrieval, but it is more forgiving on poorly recorded tracks. And the Moondrop's soundstage isn't quite as wide either, and that's due mostly to that intimate vocal presentation, but it has similar stage depth. Now, I really like both of these IEMs, and honestly, if I had to choose one of them, that would be a very hard choice for me to make. The Blessing 3 has got excellent, the Blessing 3 with a proper source has got those nice forward mids, it's got great cohesiveness, while the DMA has a really dynamic and exciting sound with excellent detail retrieval and a really kick-ass bass. So anyway, guys, that is the BGVP DMA. Obviously, I like it. I give it my recommendation. And yeah, that's it for this video. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, Parfam audiophile style. If you're new here and you haven't hit that subscribe button, consider doing so. And until next time, I'll see you later.